Israel just broke the ceasefire with Iran, and the US President Trump said, quote, Israel doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. Now, I'll get to that in a minute, but this ceasefire was announced by Trump yesterday after Iran launched their attack on the US military base in Qatar in response to the US attacking Iran. If you don't know, that attack consisted of Iran launching 19 missiles at the Al Udeid American airbase in Qatar. I made a video on it yesterday when it happened. But since then, it's worth knowing, the US announced that Iran actually warned the US they were going to do this hours in advance, so that the US could evacuate the airbase to make sure that nobody was hurt in the attack. And the exact reason why Iran warned the US is unknown, but it appears to be so that Iran could say to their people that they've retaliated to the US strikes without the risk of actually going to war with the US. Although Iran did say that they warned Qatar in advance about this attack, so it's definitely possible that Qatar were the ones that warned the US and not Iran. But either way, out of the 19 missiles that Iran fired towards this American airbase, 18 of them were intercepted and another one was left to hit the ground, as it was hitting the desert anyway. But back to the first point, shortly after Iran launched that attack, the US President Trump announced that Israel and Iran had agreed to a ceasefire, and the war was finally going to stop. Now that ceasefire is meant to be fully in place right now, but it's worth knowing that Israel has accused Iran of breaking the ceasefire and firing a missile into Israel. And then almost immediately after that, Israel promised to respond to Iran breaking the ceasefire. And now we're waiting on them to carry out an attack on Iran. And to add to that, like I said, Israel accused Iran of breaking the ceasefire by firing a single missile into Israel, not a whole barrage of missiles like would usually be expected. But like I also said at the start, the US President Trump got really annoyed over this, and he made it out as though Israel is really overreacting. He said, quote, I'm really unhappy with Israel. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. And he actually said that. And Trump also spoke on that, and he said that missile was, quote, possibly launched by mistake. And if that's true, then Israel would be overreacting, and they'd be breaking the ceasefire and starting a war over a mistake. So Israel has promised to respond to Iran breaking this ceasefire when Iran launched a missile into Israel, which was intercepted, by the way. So really, it just comes down to whether Israel is prepared to take this on the chin and go ahead with the ceasefire, or completely throw the ceasefire out the window and carry out the attack on Iran. Separately, buy a t-shirt or a hoodie. It helps support the channel. Go to the link in my bio. Cheers, guys.